How you all doing? My name is Selena McCarter, and this video is about my first boyfriend, and I'm gonna tell how we met and what went on in the relationship and how the relationship ended. I was working at a poultry plant. I met him. He worked in the freezer, and I worked in the debone department. So I would always be by myself. He just walked up to me one night, and we just started a conversation. He asked me for my phone number. I'm thinking in my mind, I work so much, I don't have time for a relationship. So I kind of doubted that he was going to call anyway. This guy called me, conversated, on the phone for a while. We ended up in a relationship. And I didn't think the relationship was going to last because anybody know if you got a job and you work all the time, you work a lot of hours, you work long hours, you working overtime, you really don't have time for no relationship. I didn't really ask him much about his past relationships or if he had kids. We started going out on dates and we would go different places. We would go, to different restaurants and stuff. We would go after work. Sometimes we would go on our days off or we would take off and just have a day for us. I never did really stress about going around the family or nothing like that or meeting whoever. So it was just me and him majority of the time. We came to agreement that I could stay down there at Kosciuszko with him sometime, but he didn't want to come to Louisville. So we spent most of our time there or at work. The relationship good. We were getting along, We didn't have no problem. I didn't see no issue of he had somebody else. And I know he didn't see no issue of me having nobody else because out by myself all the time. Nobody never did really notice that we was together because at work, how some companies have that policy where employees be in a relationship or whatever, unless you was a married couple and they couldn't do nothing about that. But if you was married, they wouldn't put y'all in the same department to work. He continued to work in the freezer. I continued to work in after work. We would pretty much, either text each other, call each other, and let each other know what we gonna do for the weekend or after work or however we was gonna do it. He was very respectable. He wasn't rude. He wasn't jealous. Common sense will tell you if you work in any environment, the female gonna come in contact with a male or a male gonna come in contact with a female. That rule wasn't followed with many people. Not only many people. And nobody didn't really see us after work because it wasn't really out like that. We just go out every once in a while, maybe for drinks or whatever. Or just go eat. He left the plant and he started driving big trucks, 18-wheelers. I stayed at the poultry plant, still working in debone, even after he switched his job. And so we would still pretty much do the same thing. If he was on the road and he wanted to see me, he'll either call me, text me, and let me know, hey, meet me at such and such place, so we can do this, we can do that. Sometimes if he, was pressed for time or whatever, pretty much the same thing. I just come meet him out that way in Kosciuszko or Carthage or something like that. Even though we was apart, he was working here and I was working there, it's just like it wasn't no question as to, are you cheating on me? Do you have none of that? We got along well. We didn't have no issue with each other. We didn't have no trust. That's what I liked about him. Because a lot of guys, it's pressure. Most men minds are pressure, but I didn't have that problem with him. We were good. Like I stayed in contact with me, whether I was at work or I was off, or if I missed a day, he would call me and ask me what was going on. We were just together 24/7 still, even though we was apart. Like I said, he was driving trucks and I was working at the poultry plant in debone. So overall, I think he had an accident in his truck. And I called him and I couldn't get no answer. So I kept calling. I didn't know that, that had happened, but I knew that he we weren't communicating because he didn't call me or he didn't text me, and that's what he would usually do. I called him one day and he answered the phone. He told me that he had had an accident in his big truck and that he was in the hospital, that he was hurt bad. I found out that he was doing well. One night after work, I went to see him. We just chit chat. When he got out the hospital, he went to live with his parents, I believe. He went to live with his parents, I want to say. Somewhere in between him getting out the hospital and him moving in with his parents, the injuries that he had, they got worse after he got home. So he ended up back up in the hospital. And, you know, same old, you know, we was talking, but eventually he passed away at some time or another. I don't take people for granted. It is what it is. Nobody is guaranteed to stay in nobody's life 100%. Because nobody knows which way life is going to take them. Because with us, it went from us having a nice night, him going out on the road, because you know sometimes they'll stay out a certain amount of days. We would stay in communication. But he ended up passing. I went to the funeral and everybody was looking at me because they didn't know me. Because I didn't go around the family. I didn't ask them to take me around the family. It just, we was just keeping it like it was. We didn't want to introduce each other to families, and then, you know how life happens. And pretty much we was just to ourselves because it was just so much going on, and then nobody didn't need to know about it. All at the same time, he was like a good guy. You know what? I ain't never met nobody like him. He was very genuine. He was very kind. It wasn't no ruckus with him. I don't even remember a time where we had a disagreement. It was a while before I got in another relationship. But you have to actually lose somebody before you understand what I'm saying. I didn't really feel no bad way when he passed because I knew we was on good terms. I knew our friendship was good, relationship was good. It just happened in a short amount of time, but we knew a long time. But just in a small amount of time, all this happened. Like I said, he was from Kosciuszko. He was just a good guy all around. I'm gonna say this: the other relationships that I only been in maybe one or two. The reason why I said one or two, I'm unsure about the other one. I ain't never met nobody like him. He was just a genuine person. He didn't have no faults with me. I ain't had no faults with him. It wasn't no jealousy. We knew how each other felt. So we didn't have no reason to be like, well, okay, let me go be jealous of this person because I want this person to do what I say or try to overpower each other. It's just like we was just pretty much, together for a good reason. Some people be together, they just be together. I don't know what you call it, but you can see it if it ain't. But see, with us, we didn't care what nobody thought of us. We didn't care what nobody didn't say nothing about us because we didn't fool nobody, but just us two. And didn't nobody know that we was together. It was just me from my first experience with these guys that I don't know. And it's hard for me to get out. It's hard for me to get into a relationship. I ain't gonna say I don't want to be in another relationship, but I do want a relationship, but I want one like what I'm explaining to you. I don't care if you're a friend, you're an enemy, you're a sister, you're a brother. I don't like jealous people. Let me be me and you be you. I'm not gonna change. If you change, that's you. I'm gonna show you the true me. It's up to you if you want it or not. I ain't met no guy like him yet. And I got yet to meet one too. In the meantime, have a great day.